Hi guys, welcome back to Living with Lucy, the Lucy Show. Coming into the stream as usual, please make sure you are subscribed. It is absolutely free to do so. Make sure to smash the like button every chance you get when my video pops up. You don't even have to watch it. And definitely check out the link I have pinned to the top of the stream, the chat over there, to see the MOOMOO referral in case you want to get invested in stocks and you want to test out this app where you can invest something into it. I think there's a minimum requirement that you can read about. And after you make the required investment, then you can get a chance to get some free stocks. And I get some free stocks along with you for that, as that is my referral link. So thank you all so much for using it. Let's get started. So I definitely want to listen to some stock news and crypto news as usual, but I just want to point out the insanity that is Nvidia. Like, my God. I remember when it was $700 something, and my friends had asked me, like, is it too late? And I'm like, I think it's too late for me, not financial advice, but I don't think this thing's going to go to $1,000 this year. I'm like, it could possibly go to $1,000 in like 2 years or maybe next year, but not like this year. And of course, what does it do? Ziggy, what's the price of Nvidia?
When the market closed, Nvidia traded at $926 and 69 cents on the Nasdaq, up 4.5% since previous close.
Just insane. $926. But I don't even think that's the highest it got to today. So let's see. And as usual, guys, stay in the stream. You can chat amongst yourselves later on. I'm going to be, again, multitasking and doing my e-commerce stuff while leaving the stream on. So ask me anything and tell us, like, for those of you guys, I really appreciate your comments, sharing your journey with me through all of this. And those of you guys that were invested in 2021, it's really interesting to see how you guys are trading now. Like, I actually see a lot of people who, I guess, waited just as long as I did since 2020 or 2021, but we have very different ways of reacting to the current market. And I love seeing it because even though I've kind of already made my decision on when I'd like to sell, and then certain positions where I'm just going to kind of go with the flow, it's cool to see that some of you guys have already sold. Some of you guys sold way before this 2024 supposed gold rush BTC run that Michael Saylor's calling it. But anyways, let me look at how far Nvidia got today. It's just crazy. It's like the opposite of watching a train wreck. I don't know what that would be. Watching something get out of the stratosphere. Oh my God. Okay, no, it's my Ziggy said it was 920 something. It's actually right now, after hours, still climbing 1.30%. It's at $938. This is right now. Nvidia, $938.50. So crazy. I just want to know what you guys think. Like, again, if you missed the stream, let me know if you think it could go to like $1,200. Like, right now, there's some crazy estimates going on. Like, some people think that it's just gonna keep riding, like doubling up wouldn't be insane, but it's already at like 2 trillion of a market cap. I don't think it's gonna go to, and again, never financial advice on my channel, but guys, it's at 2.32 trillion. Nvidia is basically, what is it? The size of, let's see how big. Hold on. I'm going into CoinMarketCap. Nvidia is smaller than the overall global crypto market cap, which is currently at 2.55 trillion, hopefully going to go higher. But it's kind of the entire market. It's kind of the entire market. Like, that's actually insane to me. Imagine some of that money, just a portion of it, people selling off on Nvidia eventually and then putting it back into crypto. Although I don't really actually see that happening. And today I watched this video. I don't know if I could try to replay it for you guys because I want to listen to it again. I'll see if I can find it. But there's a guy named Tom Lee from Fundstrat, and he has all these estimates for crypto. He's done it since, like, I think 2017. He's not right all the time because apparently in 2017, when Bitcoin was like around 4,000, he had said that it would like go to like $20,000 within like by the end of that year or something like that. Or I'm not sure if it's actually that exact year or another year, but he had some type of an estimate like that, and clearly it did not. But it got higher later on. So I feel like most managers or most fund managers and a lot of people that are into crypto, it's either you're bullish for it and you're now saying that Bitcoin's going to go to 140,000 like Anthony P, or with Tom Lee, I think his estimate is about 150,000. So yeah, either 140,000, 150,000. I'm hearing a lot of YouTubers actually say 120,000, and that's more actually on the conservative side of the guesses for how high BTC can go. And I just feel like we're in a completely unknown playing field, and it could go really honestly any price. Sky's the limit. But with that being said, I do think that right now the entire Nvidia movement is also tied to crypto because crypto's not dying out. And guess what needs chips? Crypto mining needs a lot of chips. So yeah, I definitely think that this is kind of like this never ending cycle of just nonstop bullish movement. Yeah, kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, as if ETFs for Ethereum does get approved, or some people say rumors of like May, which I think would be fantastic, and I'm definitely all for it. But imagine if right now we have Bitcoin ETFs, right? We have Bitcoin spot ETFs. Later on, if one day we have also Ethereum spot ETFs, like that would be nuts, right? That would legitimize Bitcoin ETFs even more. Like right now, I think a lot of the crypto bros or anybody into crypto right now feel like legitimized by the fact that there is ETFs out there and there are people who are invested technically without even caring about crypto or understanding what blockchain technology even is, or the fact that there's 21 million Bitcoins, or knowing the difference between Dogecoin and Bitcoin. There's a lot of people that don't need to know that, but then they could still throw their money with their fund managers into a Bitcoin spot ETF, right? And then as like pension funds and a bunch of other retirement funds start getting tangled into that, it's like everybody's going to be invested into crypto without even wanting to be invested in crypto. Kind of like when people hated Elon Musk and Tesla joined the S&P 500, and it's like, oh, well, too bad. You're going to be a part of it anyways. So there's a lot of that going on, but I just hope that Ethereum really does get approved for their ETFs, because I think it's going to be really just a net positive overall, of course, for the crypto economy. And then also it's going to definitely boost up more tech stocks like Nvidia. So just like the bar just keeps getting higher and higher. And as more of these crypto ETFs get approved, and we talked about XRP on here before, where I personally believe that since XRP has already proven in court that it's not a securities, so it's more likely down the road. I know XRP is like not really moving and there's not much news going on for that, but it seems to me that XRP would be more likely than something like ADA to get like an ETF, if that were ever to be the case. But yeah, Nvidia, I just don't know where this thing's ever going to stop. I'm going to say that I don't believe, not that I'm trying to be salty and mean about it, but I don't think Nvidia is going to get to like 2000 in the next 2 years, maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years after that, and like the next 4-year cycle for BTC. Like, who knows? It could get to 2000. It's going to be a lot more money printing going on for that to happen, but I definitely think that that is possible. I just don't think it's going to be like by the end of 2025. I don't think by the end of 2025, Nvidia is going to be magically exactly at the spot of $2,000 or higher. Even with a halving, I think we're like, no, sorry, not with a halving. I'm like applying everything to halvings now because I'm so excited about BTC halving. But even if there was a split, a stock split, I don't really think that Nvidia could get to 2000 per share. So we shall see about that. And for now, let's listen to the CNBC FTX BlockFi news that came out 3 hours ago.
Talk about the top stories. FTX and BlockFi have reached a multi-million-dollar settlement over their 2022 collapses.
Still blows my mind that I could have lost all my money in FTX.
FTX agreed to
Be
hand
careful,
BlockFi
folks.
$250 million
And smash that like button.
to repay loans tied to the exchange and its sister hedge fund, Alameda Research.
My friends, there is 20 of you in here. All right. You could do better. If you enjoy my videos and you want to help out with the channel and you want me to make more of these videos for you, please just do me the kind favor of smashing that like button, because it helps with the algorithm, helps with everything on my channel. So if you want to help me out, it's absolutely free. Just make sure to destroy the like button every single time that you're on my streams. Thanks.
On top
videos.
of that, FTX could also pay BlockFi up to $689 million contingent upon FTX's ability to fully repay customers. BlockFi and FTX were closely linked ahead of their failures, in part because of the money BlockFi lent to Sam Bankman-Fried's crypto empire and a multi-million-dollar line of credit FTX provided
actually,
BlockFi. Both companies had been locked.
Also about Sam Bankman-Fried, did you guys hear like the rumors? I heard this rumor online, and again, just hearsay, that apparently people are saying that from jail, like SBF is supposedly telling guards or people in jail that you're supposed to, or that Solana is like the next thing. Like I think people are asking him, like people I guess like in jail are asking him like what's the next thing, and he was apparently saying Solana, but Solana already rose up like crazy. So I guess it depends on the period of time if this is remotely true. If he did ever say that, I guess it really worked out if he had said this to somebody lucky enough to hear it like 6 months ago, because I would have loved to buy some Solana like 6 months ago. I think it shot up like crazy today too. I don't have any Solana again. Just FYI, not pumping Solana or anything like that. Let's see where it's at. Solana, where are you? Okay, Solana is up. Kind of like Nvidia today, but actually did better. It was up to 7.6%, and it was at $148. Now it's at $144. But look at this crazy recovery on Solana. So much better than Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. I know Shiba Inu is working hard though, but I still believe in the meme run, but I told you guys, we have no idea like when it's going to happen, like which one's going to happen first. And I was telling you guys that I honestly think it could be too soon. It'd be great if before the Bitcoin halving, we get like ETH to all-time highs, or Bitcoin or Dogecoin. And I didn't really think, sorry, not Bitcoin, Dogecoin or Shiba Inu. And I didn't really think that it would be Doge first. I was actually definitely rooting for Shiba Inu to come first, just because when Shiba Inu moves, at least I'm relating this, not that the past is indicative of the future at all, but just thinking back to Shiba Inu in 2021, it was insane in October. And it just moves so quickly. The power behind that, I don't know how to explain it. If you do, let me know in the comment section down below. But it's just really crazy when it moves. So I wouldn't be shocked if it does like another 300% gain within like a week. Even with the higher prices now. Right now just feels like a moment to give people that are sitting on the sidelines FOMOing and to allow them to kind of buy in again. I wish that that was me. Like if I could go back in time, I think my greatest regrets is one, to have ever invested near the top on Shiba Inu in 2021 and to not have just put that money all in like 3 weeks ago. And then also I should have bought PayPay. But that's something I just said that to my SO yesterday. I'm like, I've decided, even though I said I'm not going to get any more meme coins of any kind because I have so much right now. And I always did. But I have a new plan, and I'm not going to look down on random meme coins anymore. That is not Doge, because I never looked down on Doge. I'm not going to look down on it because I messed up on Shiba Inu. I messed up on Floki. Should have got Floki too, apparently. I messed up on this PayPay thing, and apparently dog with hat, which I also look down upon. So in the next bear market, which we're not at, I hope it happens in 2026 or 2027, that there's like a bear market and everybody's like super scared, and like no cash, no money to like throw into the crypto market anymore. That is when I will keep an eye out every single second and let me know. Just message me at like DM me or message me on X. I'll hopefully see it. That is when I'll be like on the hunt for a bunch of random meme coins. I'll buy and then just hold out for the next cycle, the next BTC halving, right? Like 4 years after this year. So that is my game plan. Not financial advice. Do your own DD. And if you like some free stocks to test out, if you want to get MOOMOO, definitely use my link pinned to the top of this stream. And let's continue to listen as I do some of my work. Okay, BRB, I'm still here. Chillax.
If approved by the bankruptcy court, would help make BlockFi's customers whole. Next, a court in Montenegro ruled that Do Kwon should be extradited to his native country, South Korea. The Associated Press reports the High Court handed down the decision just 2 days after an appeals court overturned a previous decision to send him to the United States. The court spokesperson reportedly said this latest decision can be appealed again. Because of this ruling, Do Kwon could miss his U.S. civil fraud trial, alleging a $40 billion crypto fraud. That trial is slated to begin in a little more than 2 weeks. Finally, Ethereum's next big upgrade, which could mean near zero transaction fees for Layer 2 blockchain.
I really feel like having either a Red Bull, by the way, while I'm working and talking to you guys, or a coffee. So let's take a vote. What should I make for myself? And by coffee, like I'm running out low on my coffee beans, so I'm going to be using my Nespresso machine or just a Red Bull on ice. So it's like weird. Sometimes I just have no idea. Like I kind of want both, but there's no way I'm going to like put that much caffeine in me right now. Which should I have? I ask you guys like what should I buy before, but I don't think I've ever truly like listened. But I will listen to you when you tell me what to drink when I'm actually not really sure which one I want. It's like one's hot, one's cold. I could make my coffee cold as well just by putting in ice. But all right. I have 100% on coffee right now. So we'll go with coffee. I like Red Bull too though. All right. Start my machine. Hold on, let me plug it in. It's kind of loud. I kind of like it. Let's turn it on. To wait a bit. I don't know if anyone else has an espresso machine, but I made a video about it. I think somewhere on this channel. I think something I just love. Like I love their little pods. I think it's just so cute. There's like different names. This one, Vienne, Lungo Vienne. I think that's what it's called. It's from the World Explorations. It's all just like really pretty designs. There's also like a Tokyo one and a Paris one. It's one little pod. It doesn't do much though. Like when you make fresh coffee, or even like I have like all the coffees. I have fresh coffee machine, and then I also have like this stuff, which I drank for a while, and then I realized I actually need real coffee. I think out of all of these, I prefer, or the strongest is just like real fresh Colombian coffee is like my favorite. And then Nespresso is probably the weakest, but like my dad has a machine because I bought him a machine too. And like, I like him drinking this more because he's crazy and he drinks like 3 cups a day. And I'm like, if you drink like just regular fresh roast coffee, like 3 cups a day, that's kind of a lot, you know? So I'm happier when he drinks this. And then I also bought my dad like a coffee machine, like a fresh one this year. So now maybe I overdid it with the caffeine. I don't know. Where's my cup? Okay. Let's put in this one. And then you have like 2 options. Like there's the bigger cup button or the smaller cup. I actually have cuter small cups, but I'm just gonna use this big cup. Oh, you can't really see it. There you go. Let's make him a coffee. Hi there, everybody. Hi there, DZ, Dan, Cruz, Ruin Nation, Familiar Faces, Iron. And for those of you guys that aren't in the chat, I know you're there, and I thank you for it. Smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I'm trying to do more streams. I'm trying to do better. Trying to do better, do more streams, get back into it, but then also like do all the other things that I've acquired in my life and committed to. So I'm working real hard. I want to tell you guys some good news. I'm very proud of this, but I will share this with my Patreons. So if you want to join, link down in the description below. I try my best to respond to all of you guys' like comments, obviously like on YouTube as much as I can see it, and on. But if you want like a long conversation with me, DMs, or ask me specific things I'm not answering here because I don't share my portfolio here and whatnot, make sure to follow one of my paid subscriptions down in the description below. There are 2. One is OF, one is Patreon. So I'm going to share it over there what I am excited about. See, I'm already clicked it. Like, did I click it twice? Oh no, I'm going to click it again. Maybe I did hit it twice. I'm confused. But if you want to chat with me over there, link down below. I'm going to share over there a screenshot of my new milestone that I got to reach on eBay, which is like my e-commerce, one of my e-commerce platforms. I had a goal that I wanted to reach, and I had already reached that like the mid of February, less than 6 months of me starting this very new like eBay platform. And I've already hit a new milestone, and I beat out another milestone in terms of like money that I wanted to make within a span of 3 months, because eBay, I don't know why they chose this the way that they display it, but the way that they display it to the seller is that I get to see how much I've sold within every 90 days. So then it fluctuates, of course, right? Like by the next day, it's like another new calculation. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. And now I don't really have like a new number I need to hit anymore right now. And I think I've talked about it on my streams, where there's a saying for no matter what you sell on eBay, like whether you're selling clothes or you're selling jewelry, earrings, makeup, I don't know, right? Like anything. But there's a saying that like the more you list, the more you can make. And I didn't really believe in that until I played around with it now. And now that I've sold many different things and I've run many different platforms, I finally realized that that is a fact. The more that I am listing, of course, you can't be ridiculous and list like, I don't know, your drawing that you made when you were 3 years old and you priced it for like $1 million. That's not going to sell no matter how many you list. I mean, maybe if you're really lucky. Remember the NFT era with the rocks? I don't know. But if it's of value, something that is popular, like a lot of people want, and you're selling it at a price that people are willing to pay, and you just have a lot more like, oh my God, my hair is such a mess. Sorry, I don't really brush it. But if you just have more listings than somebody else, I swear to God, like something with the YouTube algorithm is kind of similar, I feel like, with like eBay algorithms. So I was actually watching this video about this girl talking about like what should I put in this? I'm gonna put in a little maple syrup. But I was watching this girl talk about YouTube. She's like some no, she's not a finance guru. I don't know what she is, but she's like big on YouTube. But I was watching a video about her just explaining stuff about YouTube, and she was saying how to get to like near 1 million subscribers. She did a lot of things with the algorithm. That might be a lot. This is my maple syrup. Maple syrup and coffee with ice and a little milk tastes really good. But I'm trying to be on a diet, so I'm trying to be slightly healthier. I'm just going to be drinking it black with some maple syrup. But yeah, she was talking about how with like YouTube algorithms, she realized that if she were to make, for example, like a video about, I don't know, makeup. If you're going to make a video about makeup on YouTube, right? And you just make that one video and then you go off niche and you make a video about like Pikachu. Chances are YouTube algorithm probably won't really boost you because you only have like one video. But then like, let's say Bob, on the other hand, made like 10 videos of makeup and then like 20 videos of Pikachu. Like then his videos would most likely do better than yours or that girl's because there's more for YouTube to kind of promote. So even though I never actually watched many videos on eBay on how to like grow your eBay, I feel like me applying that, like what she said to eBay actually really works for me personally, because I've tried to list things that are like, let's say within the same niche. Like if I'm going to do a lip gloss, I'll do like 100 lip gloss listings, right? And then maybe like a different color lip gloss, and then so on and so forth with like other items, right? Like if I'm going to do a butterfly necklace, maybe I'll do like a silver butterfly necklace, but like 1,000 of them, and then like 2,000, I don't know, dragonfly shaped necklaces. So I feel like those little things here and there kind of work out for like all platforms. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. Anywho, yeah, I will share my new milestone screenshot on my Patreon if you want to check it out. Join. The $20 tier is the one where I share most of like my trades anyways, for those of you guys that keep asking about my stuff. If I do end up selling all my Ethereums or Shiba Inu, I will definitely update that tier on Patreon. And then also I update it on OF, but then you pay per the view. So it depends on you, whichever one you want. And then I'll be back. I'll let you guys listen, chill out as I do my listings.
Could attract new users. That's according to this research report out yesterday from Fidelity Digital Assets, which noted that Ethereum's Dencun upgrade will allow the network to function as a proper database for layer 2 blockchains to store data more efficiently and cheaply. Fidelity said the upgrade will not have many direct effects on Ethereum users themselves, as the fee decrease for L2 users will not have an impact on those transacting on the base Ethereum blockchain. Analysts wrote that in the short term, users who want to benefit from the fee change must, quote, sacrifice some decentralization and security by transacting on layer 2s instead of Ethereum. The upgrade is scheduled for March 13th. All right, turning to NFTs for our main story. Crypto World's Talia Kaplan spoke with Alex Taub, the co-founder and CEO of the newly formed company Truth Arts, about his outlook for non-fungible tokens after the value of several popular NFTs drastically dropped last year. He also explains how his company is helping turn things like non-fungible tokens into something that could generate value for NFT holders.
Last week, your two companies, DAO infrastructure firm Upstream and Truth Labs, which is behind some NFTs, including Goblin Town, merged into one entertainment and technology company called Truth Arts. Now, Truth Arts is building games, technology, and creative content. Can you take us through the goal of this merger? What made you want to combine your two companies together?
Yeah, it's a great question. On one side, on the Upstream side, we've been venture backed, so we raised close to $20 million from VCs, and we were building DAO infrastructure. And the DAO space wasn't taking off in the way that a lot of people expected. A lot of people expected sort of DeFi and NFTs to take off, and then DAOs to take off. And we were sort of like relegated to taking shots on goal for DAOs to take off. We had a really, really talented engineering, product, and sort of business team. On the other side, I have Truth Labs, which was a sort of entertainment. We started off.
Oh, something I wanted to say was, what's it called? Yes, NFTs. So I didn't buy any NFTs on the last bull run. I don't have any NFTs now. I don't really think I believe in NFTs for now. But a part of me also feels like NFTs will eventually climb up after Bitcoin hits a new all-time high. And just like kind of like the last bull run, I feel like NFTs are just kind of always going to be lurking, whether you like it or not. And with that being said, even though I think a lot of people think ApeCoin is dead, if NFTs boost up again, I definitely think that ApeCoin is going to have movement. So I have not yellowed anything into ApeCoin, but we'll see. We'll see where kind of like my funds land me, and if I want to do that later on. But it's like I don't like NFTs, and I'd rather invest into like stocks and crypto. I'd honestly rather throw my money in Nvidia than I would like NFTs. But yeah, there's just too many different things that I have interest in, but I still feel like NFTs will probably make a comeback. I just don't think it's going to be dead because it's still an interesting concept.
Off in NFTs, but really entertainment sort of storytelling group. And my co-founders there and the team there were really amazing at, art and, creative and storytelling. And we had launched things like Goblin Town, which is one of the top, 35 projects on OpenSea. We found this amazing opportunity where it was sort of like two sides of my brain. And we had this amazing sort of storytelling creative team on one side, and we had this amazing sort of engineering product team on another side. And we just figured that if we combine them, we could do some really amazing things. And this all sort of came from a really popular video game that came out last summer called Only Up. And Only Up just became this like phenomenon in the indie sort of gaming space.
What the Bible says by topic.
IP, so it used Goblin Town.
I think I'm okay at it. I enjoy
use a lot of our
chatting
IP,
about stuff that I'm thinking about.
Fastest growing.
So maybe not always crypto. I'll be doing streams on other stuff
on Twitch, and it was a game that was making about $100,000 a day at peak. And everyone thought we made the game because it was all of our IP. And so we took that sort of momentum and we realized, we have really strong IP and we should go and
I'm listening to CNBC television, FTX, and BlockFi, by the way, in case you reach tentative settlement for up to 874 million, in case any of you guys want to go and watch that, because I keep pausing it. The Ruin Nation says, speaking at Berkshire Hathaway Inc.'s annual shareholder meeting in 2018, Buffett described Bitcoin as probably rat poison squared, a sentiment reported by CNBC's Becky Quick. So, but about that, I honestly don't, and that's just my views. I think I said this before. And especially if you look back to 2021, I believe it was 2021, or it could have been 2020. No, it was 2021. When stonks are riding up like out of the stratosphere, Apple, Tesla, and I remember Tim Cook did an interview. I don't know which, if it was like the Deal Book Summit or something, but he was asked on an interview, you could find this online, and he had at like the first time publicly basically talked about the fact that he had interest and he researched about crypto. And now I'm hearing people, again, don't quote me, but I'm hearing people talk about him saying that he does own BTC. I don't remember him admitting to owning exactly what crypto or even that he owned crypto, but he definitely did say that he had interest and he had basically looked it up. Whoa, how do you do that? That's so cool. Is it because Crypto Esquire, you just did a thumbs up thing? Because YouTube live streams, they just keep shocking me. I don't know. There's like all these cute little pop-ups. I can't wait till they do filters so I could stop putting on makeup and I just use like a beauty filter. But anyways, yeah. So I think my personal viewpoint on that is I think there's a lot of wealthy folks out there, CEOs or not, that publicly can only say so much because they are bound to their shareholders, board members, the company, just certain rules, or maybe there's like a certain image they want to portray to kind of keep those stocks going up, and they want to avoid possible lawsuits, issues. So I don't only like, not saying that that's Warren Buffett, but I definitely just view all wealthy people in the same energy. Like, I think they say what they say in public, just like a celebrity, a pop star would say certain things in public when the camera's on. And then they might be thinking other things, doing other things off camera. So it's okay. And then you have people like Elon Musk, where I feel like he is kind of more unfiltered. But yeah, I don't really buy into majority of the stuff that you hear people say because people flip-flop a lot. Like, I think, who is it? Is it Larry Fink that at one point said that crypto is bad or doesn't believe in it, and then now look, right? So yeah, I only believe in so much of it. You got to see what more of like actions, what people do. And like, for example, Fidelity has been invested for a long time.
Sort of like an entertainment technology company that focused on gaming and content. So once all that sort of came together, we decided to combine as one company, and the merger finally closed in January, and we announced it about a week ago.
So you have been involved in the NFT space for years now, and you have seen its highs and lows. We all witnessed the hype surrounding non-fungible tokens until about 2022. Now the value of several popular NFTs has drastically decreased. In fact, according to CoinGecko, in 2023, NFT trading volume was less than half of what it was in 2022. Well, investment platform Republic is now offering a way for private companies to give future equity to turn things like NFTs into something that could have value. Your firm, Truth Arts, is the first NFT-focused company to try this out. What made you want to be the guinea pig, if you will, and how will this work exactly?
We started to think a little bit about how can we get the people who own our NFTs, the people in our community, how can we get them on the same lifeboat as us? How can they sort of participate in our success? How do we make sure that we're not extracting from the community, but we're providing value and letting the community grow with us? And so all that led to talking to Republic and understanding what they can do. You know, the investment platform, they're very popular. And they had this product called a share drop. And it's sort of a private way for companies to give future equity to communities, and basically in exchange for loyalty. And so our company, Truth Arts, we're the first NFT-focused company to do something called a share drop, which is this mechanism. And we're also the first company to offer tokenized future equity via the share drop. And this is just really interesting. The last piece here is we're having trouble disproving it, but we're not comfortable like making the claim yet. But we think that Truth Arts is the largest private share drop ever by nominal value of future equity. And meaning we're the first to do it like this, but we're also the first or the largest private share drop ever. And that's really interesting because all these people who held on to the NFTs, who stuck with our community, had the opportunity to come in and be owners in the company as well.
So taking a step back,
Smash the like button, by the way.
The lack of interest in NFTs too.
Like
Was it the results of the broader crypto downturn? And do you think things might change now that Bitcoin hit a new all-time high and the crypto market has been experiencing a rally? What's your outlook for NFTs this year?
Most of the projects that exploded in 2021 and into 2022, they were mostly made on Ethereum. And Ethereum isn't...
For those asking if I'm still holding on, again, I don't share my crypto portfolio on YouTube for free anymore. So if you want to find out, you can follow me on either OF or Patreon. Patreon, $20 tier, or OF, just send me separate messages. I have been telling people and showing them my portfolio per, tip payment. So definitely check that out if you want. But I will tell you that I have openly said that I have ETH and SHIBE and Dogecoin and many different other cryptocurrencies that's too hard to count because I have it on all separate ledgers. I'm probably not going to share every single one of them because that's way too many screenshots, but I have been sharing the larger ones. So I had people ask me specifically for like my Doge, ETH, and SHIB, and I'd be happy to share that with you. All down in the description below, guys. In the description box below, you will see the links, and at the very top, it'll say Let's Connect, and you'll see the link tree. So you'll be able to find all these different links for my Patreon and OF in there, but there's specific links all down in the description below for everything. And I think you could just also search that on Google somewhere. But yeah, good luck. You guys let me know what you're
really
trading.
Usable. For example, if I wanted to go buy a goblin on Magic Eden, which is
I don't know what
the most popular marketplace to buy NFTs right now, if I wanted to go buy a goblin, that might cost me $500, $600. The problem is that the gas on top of it is another like $50 to $100. Now, for other chains like Solana, that's like pennies. So it's not really usable right now. So Ethereum NFTs are sort of like stuck right now. There's not a lot of volume because the fees are exorbitant on top of it. Like, why would you pay 20% more to buy something? You wouldn't. You just wait until the thing called gas goes down. So the question is like NFTs right now. I think the future for NFTs and how they get more popular, because they are popular on other chains. Right now, the most popular thing is...
I don't know anyone with actual expensive NFT right now.
It works a little bit differently, and I'm not going to go into the minutia of it, but it's essentially an NFT on Bitcoin. And those are extremely popular right now. One of the most popular things, they're exploding. The value of them are going up a lot.
I actually know what he's talking about for that.
Figure out actually how to use. And I'm pretty technical on this stuff, and I'm...
Okay. So he's talking about like Bitcoin NFTs. And I've actually seen those like on a video recently. I don't have any. Again, I don't even have Bitcoin. But they're really personal taste. They're so ugly. I don't like the Bitcoin NFTs, right? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. No judgment. I don't think it's pretty, but then again, tons of people think that the Tesla Cybertruck is disgustingly ugly. But I love it. So I think it's just a difference in preference, and that's okay. We don't have to agree everything is gorgeous and everything is ugly altogether. We all have our own taste, but I'd rather get a Bored Ape than the Bitcoin ones. And I don't know why they can't create like a really cute one. Yeah, if there's like a really, really cute one that looks like, I don't know, Pokemon or something, I'd be more likely to purchase something like that for like thousands of dollars.
Still like a newbie at this type of stuff. So I can't imagine someone normal would sort of figure them out. But I think the future of NFTs are really actually cross-chain. And what I mean by that is sort of they're like chain agnostic, right? Everyone was all about Ethereum NFTs. When anyone ever said NFT, they were talking about Ethereum. They may have not said that, but it was Ethereum, the chain, they were talking about that. But now, because of the fees, I think NFTs are going to be going to a lot of different chains. And so I think 99% of NFTs are probably still going to be worthless. I had said this for years. Most people that, you know, deal with NFTs have said like most NFTs are sort of worthless. There are definitely some projects that are doing really well. There's one called Pudgy Penguins, run by my friend Luca, that's really, really popular and doing really well in Walmart with toys. So it sort of ebbs and flows the demand, and really depends on the project.
You've been involved in crypto since 2012. So you have been through many cycles. And so I'm wondering, what do you think is behind the recent crypto rally? Do you think the popularity of Bitcoin ETFs and the tightening Bitcoin supply ahead of the upcoming halving are two big catalysts?
Yeah, I think in general, crypto's sort of inevitable. Now that, you know, grandma has, you know, Bitcoin in her 401k, it sort of can't go.
Grandma has
sort of like
Bitcoin in her 401k.
The chasm. Right now, I think the combination of the ETF, so something that we feel like you can't go back from, and then the halving, obviously, with the lower supply of, you know, of mining of coins available, the demand is outstripping the supply. I think I saw something, I think maybe a week or two ago, that there were 900 new Bitcoins mined and there was like demand for 10,000 Bitcoin, right? It's just supply and demand.
And soon going to be 450 only.
Now, there's other pieces to this in terms of gaming, in terms of just new ways to use crypto. So I think there's just new use cases that people are getting excited about. But yeah, right now I think it's there's just excitement on the sort of renewed interest in new use cases.
Okay, that's all for Crypto World today. We'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll see you then.
Okay, this one was okay. Here, I found the one that I did want you guys to listen to, and I'm going to listen to it for the second time where I was telling you, this is Bitcoin can top $150,000 in the next 12 to 18 months, says Fundstrat's Tom Lee, where he always has like these interesting estimates on where the price of, I guess, Bitcoin's going to go. So listen to this one. I think this one's pretty interesting. It's about like 8 minutes. Again, you can find this on YouTube.
At the markets, joining us now is Tom Lee, Fundstrat Global Advisors co-founder and a CNBC contributor. Tom, it's good to see you. We've had recently, I don't know what you'd call it with technology, but at least some of the bloom has come off the rose on the Magnificent Seven, or at least a couple of them, and on technology in general, although the NASDAQ has recently hit some new highs. Do you see any trouble there, or at least a moderation of the gains from recent years?
Well, I think it's understandable that technology could be consolidating some of the gains, because the gains since October.
Actually, I'm going to end my little coffee or Red Bull poll. I do want to ask you guys, because you already know, so some of these estimates, right? Anthony Pompliano, he said it was about 140,000, also on CNBC, I think like literally 2 days ago, when the day that I think Bitcoin hit 69,170. Anyways, his guesstimate is about like 140,000 on the conservative side. And then this guy, Tom Lee from Fundstrat's, now saying it's 150,000. I don't know the most recent like Kathy Wood estimate or whatever, but I'm going to throw out a couple numbers, and I would love to see where your vote is on where Bitcoin is going to get between the next 12 and 18 months. Because I'm actually discussing this with like my own friends, right? And also my SO, and like, I just think no one has any idea. I definitely don't. And I think anybody who acts like they know what they're saying also has absolutely no idea. And a little piece of me will always believe that all of these people who have a lot of money to invest and a lot of money to pull out would like you to think that the price is always going to go higher. So then it's like musical chairs. And then the last one standing with the bag will lose. So I definitely think, again, I don't think everybody's like vicious, but it definitely, this is the type of game where, you know, Bitcoin could be at $120,000, but the guy who wants to have, or the guy who already set a sell limit for 125,000 is then going to tell all their friends and then everybody online, maybe if they have a large following, that they think it's going to go to like 200,000. right? Because then you're holding the bag and you're not putting that sell limit that other guy is putting. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, what price do you think BTC will go to this 12 to 18 months? Is what, yeah, is he's saying 150K. So I'll just do 120K as like your first option. 150K second option. Then we'll go crazier. Like some people think it could double up. I mean, if we double up from 70, that's 140. So I guess that hits the 150 mark. And if we want to go crazier, I guess I could just do 200K. But then let's go like real conservative option, which I think could be a possibility. That would suck, but I'm just going to go with like a 99K, right? Like imagine it doesn't even go over 100. But then guess what? All the people that said it was 120 or it could be 140, it's none of their business that you ended up, I don't know, hopefully not taking out a whole large loan out of your house to YOLO all into BTC. So yeah, don't do that. I highly recommend not to do that. Don't ever play with money that you cannot afford to lose is my motto. So let me know what you guys think. BRB, continue to listen to Tom Lee.
Have been prodigious.
Thomas Lee.
I think it's been healthy because small caps, industrials, other sectors have started to lead. So I think it's a sign that the market is broadening. So I don't think technology valuations are at a bubble. I actually just think it's been healthy.
Really? So that is the half empty, half full viewpoint that either one that we've actually had people express earlier. Either, the generals could come back down to the soldiers or they could broaden out and the advance could continue. So do you think that this election year, 2024, will gains be similar to 2023 or was that pretty rare and unlikely to be repeated this year?
It's a question clients are asking us. The stock market seems a lot stronger this year than last year. We've had 4 consecutive months of gains, which Mark Newton, our head of technical strategy, says is very rare. We already had a pretty nice January, a very strong February. To me, if the market gains 20% this year, which would match what it did in 2023, it wouldn't surprise me. But I think that the character would be very different, that it would be a lot more sectors participating in. In some ways, I think if we are up 20% this year, I think small cap
250K. That's what I'm praying for. Daniel says, okay, well, 250,000. That would be lovely, and that would be how much of an increase? Okay, wait. Let's actually think about this. So the 2017, it went to like 17,000, right? So 2017 went to about 17,000. And then the next cycle, which was 2021, went to 69. So that is more than 3x. That's more than 3x from the last high. So we're going to go based off of that. Again, just an estimate means absolutely nothing because the game has changed. Everything is different now, right? With all these ETFs, or at least that's what the news is feeding you. So if we want to go by that, and let's say it's not 3x, it's 4x, 4 times the current 70,000. Yeah. But then if you don't think it could 4x, it could just 3x. So then let's just do that's around 70,000 times 3. So that's what, like 210,000? I'm not going to say that's wild because that technically happened from the previous high to the next high. And then now it could, who knows, go 3x, right? Again, if it is also based off of the past, then it shouldn't necessarily happen anytime soon because usually it takes like at least 6-7 months for BTC having to happen and then for it to kind of cool down a bit, consolidate, and then rise up again if all goes planned. But you guys seem to think, oh, I love it. A very realistic group of people here today. 99,000, my lowest, most like conservative guess. And honestly, again, I would go with that if I had any Bitcoin, right? Like honestly, if I owned 2-3 Bitcoins, whatever, or even 1, I would honestly probably get rid of it at like 99 if I bought it in at like 8,000. That's what I would do because I'm just not sure if all these estimates could hit. And if they don't, and let's say it does end up only going to 110, but then starts plummeting down, but you can't catch the knife, that would really, really suck. So for me, 99 is kind of like the safe spot where I don't feel like I wasted 2.5, 3 years, 4 years waiting that long without any growth. Like, it would suck a lot, but even though people are doing it, I don't really understand it. But there are people who bought at 60 and then just sold at 69 recently. And that's cool. Like, at the end of the day, they're still up. So no judgment there. I don't think there's any shame in paper handing when you're making money and you're up. But for me, I just have to calculate by the amount of time that I waited, and that money could have been in a CD or, just some type of savings account that's currently getting you like 5.20%. So for me, I wouldn't really want to do that, but 69 to 99 growth, I'm okay with that. So again, to each his own. And we'll see what happens. It's very exciting to watch. It's like exciting to watch even if you don't have any Bitcoin, in my opinion. Also Nvidia.
Have to happen.
I think two things would probably derail an equity move of 20% this year. Something even pushing the markets down. One would be if inflation reasserts itself in a way that the Fed has to reverse its action and become quite hawkish again. I think that would terrify markets. The second is if monetary policy is so restrictive now that we slip into a recession. I don't think we're losing that much economic momentum, but either would be negative for stocks.
Okay, and so it broadens out. You have a feel for.
I'm gonna do my squats.
Is that how important is that to you? Because we got a jobs number.
Smash the like button, guys. There's 30 of you in here and people coming in and out. So let's get those likes up. Thank you. Hi there, Don.
More bullish if you could say we're going to have 4 cuts this year, wouldn't you?
Yes. I mean, to me, more cuts would be easier for markets to sort of feel comfortable because it would also have, like, as you're pointing out, downward pressure on interest rates. I've been pretty surprised that interest rates have moved up this year and the stock market has been able to sort of look past that because I think they're viewing it as rates are rising for the right reasons. But yeah, a better scenario is, of course, inflation's falling visibly enough for the Fed to begin cutting with confidence.
I can't wait till they cut. I need those real estate prices to come down in California.
It came down from 20,000, and you used to come on and say, yeah, by the end of the year, it's going back to 20,000. I don't know how you feel confident doing those. So now you've done it again, really. And with I don't know, what did you say by the end of next year? Where could it be in your view?
Well, I think that sometime in the next 18 months, Bitcoin could be over 150,000. But that's because, the backdrop for Bitcoin is so much more favorable today. We've got more visible demand from the spot ETF, and we know the supply dynamic is improving with the halving.
So 12 to 18 months. And also 12 to 18 months, that's like, let's just pretend all the way down, March. So that could be like September. 18 months. Basically, he's saying that he thinks Bitcoin could get to $150,000 by 2025 of September, right? That's about 18 months from now because it's March. So that's a long way, guys. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to be until that number hits to 150,000. Again, I'm just going to go with how I felt watching crypto in 2021, and then all the estimates pretty much never hit because nobody said it was going to go to, like, in 2021, if you remember, you could go back and like search what a lot of professionals, right, kind of estimated, and I remember nobody said anything like 70,000 because that's such a low and conservative number. Like, everyone at the time was like 100, 200, 100, 200, and then it just stopped at 69. So yeah, I don't know if it could easily get to 150,000, but I do hope that it does. And again, it is so different now considering there's buyers everywhere. There's rumors of countries secretly buying it and then they're going to reveal it later on. And if all of these buyers are just fighting over like all this limited Bitcoin and then Bitcoin's going to be like only 450 instead of 900 a day, right? After the halving, it's going to be rough.
Coming up, which is less than a month away. It does help that the Fed is becoming dovish. I mean, that's easier monetary policy. And I think from a regulatory perspective, we had so many hammers dropped in the last 12 months, really 18 months, that unless it's going to be worse over the next 2 years, Bitcoin's already faced sort of the peak of regulatory backlash.
And it got through the old highs. We had a true Bitcoin bull on earlier saying that in previous instances where it has reached a new high, that it doubles fairly quickly after that. I mean, he said 18 days. The minute it hit a new high, it sold off.
He was talking about Anthony, 18 days.
To 59, but it's back to 67 today. How long before it doubles again? I mean, could you see that in the near term, another doubling?
I mean, near term, it's hard to know. Near term, Joe, I know our digital strategist Sean Farrell said that it's typical to consolidate after making a new high. So he thinks for the next 9 or 10 days we're going to be maybe chopping around here. But
so they were talking about Anthony Pompliano, who also went on CNBC like 2 days ago and said that usually after new highs, you'll see newer highs. And then that also generally applies to like most stocks too. I mean, like look at Nvidia, new high reached, newer highs, newer highs, newer highs, still a newer high today. So, but then eventually it stops. So yeah, Anthony was saying how it could be about 18 days. So when do we just hit it? Like March 5th, right? So if we just hit the BTC all-time high, 69,170, if that was the all-time high and it's about 18 days, sometime within this month sometime within this month of March, before the Bitcoin halving, we are supposedly going to see doubling or even if it's not doubling, which is kind of dramatic, it would go to like 140. I would honestly be really happy if it hit 99, right? Before the halving. If it hits 99 before the halving, then I would have very high hopes that it could get to these wild numbers at these estimates of like 120, 140, 150, Lord knows, maybe 3. Just kidding, 200 something. Hi there, J James and Syndicate Hunter, Days Game Shop, JJJ says 900 Bitcoins mined per day after this halving, 450 per day. Exactly. So if there's so much demand, but I think the narrative honestly just goes with the news. Now everybody's using the narrative of like, oh, like spot Bitcoin ETFs. And yeah, we knew that. We knew that in like January, right? When it was approved, but it's not like Bitcoin just shot up to the moon right after that happened. So it's kind of like when things move, then people look backwards and they're like, oh, it's this and that. So then when prices start to go down, it's like all these other reasons will start coming out. They'll be like, oh, well, it's hyped up. Oh, there's actually not that much demand. And this went wrong. So economy's not good anymore. People are now putting their money away for something else. Like anything really goes. Yes, thanks, guys. Thank you for finally getting things done, for pushing those likes up. Really appreciate it because it is absolutely free to do so, to subscribe to my channel, and make sure you tap that lovely like button. For tapping it, I will send you good vibes for your portfolio to go to the moon. J. James says, I think 99K is reasonable, but it won't hit that if everyone believe it because it's a target to sell at. If people believe 150K, it could jump quick. Right now it's showing some weakness, but I know rich people in. So yeah, no, that's exactly my point. Like I believe that it's going to be a lower number. That's what I'm telling you guys. That's personally what I believe in, because people are saying that it's going to be this sky high number that they actually want you to hold on to the bag for, because this is not the type of thing where we could all get out at 150,000. Someone's going to get out 150,000 and then the rest will be 140, 130, and then boom, boom, boom down until somebody is left with the giant bag. So I hope it's not you guys. But right now, yes, 44% of the people now believe it's going to be 120,000, which I hope is the future. Honestly, higher the better.
We saw it with the spot Bitcoin ETF inflows, like, BlackRock seeing almost 800 million in inflows. So I think as long as there's strong spot demand and there aren't eager sellers, you do have a market that's out of balance, that there's too much demand for Bitcoin, not enough supply created through the block reward.
Right. And as a measure of risk on, I guess the NASDAQ sometimes even tracks Bitcoin, doesn't it?
Yes. It's a study we did several years ago showed that the best years for Bitcoin occurred when the S&P and the NASDAQ had their best year. So I think it does
like 2021.
Bitcoin is a risk-on asset today. So as long as Bitcoin does well, it's actually bullish for stocks.
Did you notice the other day the Wall Street Journal in the headline, it was describing the move in Bitcoin, and it said a new high for the currency. I had never seen that in the Wall Street Journal before. Usually, I don't know what you call it. I still don't know what to call it, really. But front page, it said currency. Is it a currency?
Yeah, I mean that's it. I missed that. That's a great term. It's certainly better than someone calling it sardine cans or tulip bubbles.
Sardine cans.
But to me, it's
Tom, so just to put a fine point on this issue about the correlation with the markets, and how do you so if you're saying it's correlated to the markets, and we have a market that's doing quite well, and as we said, here's the economy is doing quite well. The idea that it would do very well in a bad economy, which is what a lot of people have been trying to suggest, I think, on this broadcast earlier today. Is that right or wrong?
Sorry, I'm doing squats, by the way, while I'm talking to you guys and I'm doing work.
You know,
so I'll check in the chat every once in a while.
A hedge against unsound money, and that's why when Joe talked about it as currency, that's how many people do view it, because Bitcoin has its own unit value and it's measured against dollars, and I think it's the same way people measure gold against dollars. So I think if there is an event, and we've seen it in Turkey or Venezuela, that when those currencies collapse, Bitcoin has been a way for people to preserve wealth. So I don't want to see that test sort of put in the US, but I think that's one reason people own Bitcoin.
Oh, so that was the end of it.
Let's take a closer look.
But I do want to say that there is circulating fear, I think since 2020, that eventually, or that the US right now is at the top, right? It's at the top, but there's a lot of talks, and you can look at a better explanation of this from Ray Dalio, saying that the country, pretty much the ruling country throughout history, changes, I think, like, what is it, like every 100 years or so? There's always going to be, or no, sorry, it's not at least 100 years. It's much longer. It's longer, some number longer than that. But usually there's like a change in like the greater power. And it was obviously not always the US, right? So at a certain point in time, Ray Dalio says that he thinks the next rising power is a sleeping dragon, aka China. So also we have a lot of political tension, but there's this, like, I guess, instilled fear in a lot of Americans where they wonder if their dollars are going to start to be less and less valuable. And I think a lot of those people that were angry with inflation and pumping up the money through the pandemic, a lot of those people got Bitcoin. So it's kind of like just two narratives. But even if you watch, like, I think a 1 hour, 2 hour long Ray Dalio video on that, you can find it on YouTube for free, or read his book, you will see that he's not saying that it's going to be like China's going to take over in the next like 3 years or so. So still a lot of time in between that. And again, anything can happen. These are all just estimates of what could be based off of history and where kind of things are headed right now. So I think definitely that's kind of a push for a lot of people to want to invest in Bitcoin, right? Or if you want to invest in gold, because a lot of people want to invest in gold during wars and whatnot too. It's just another alternative for you to stay wealthy. So I think all this stuff is all adding to people, and there are many different reasons to possibly throw money into Bitcoin, even though it's still speculative, like even at the point of it being accepted and there being Bitcoins by ETFs. Okay, I'm trying to play stuff while you guys are here and I'm working. Hold on. I watched so many Jensen Huang videos from Nvidia. Like now it just hurts because Nvidia keeps climbing and I'm still super poor. Let's see which next one did I want to watch? Why is gas so expensive in California 5 hours ago? I need to be more bullish. Let's bring back. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to see if there's any Cathie Wood ones. I have not listened to Cathie Wood from ARK Invest in a while, like her own videos. Okay, returning an EM platform brainstorm. Oh, has she not done one? Okay, Cathie Wood Innovation. Innovation worth 220 trillion by 2030. That was 13 days ago. The coming Bitcoin surge with Cathie Wood. Okay, perfect. This is like an hour long.
Do anything unless.
Well, let's jump in. Everyone, it's Peter. In a few weeks, I'm gathering.
I watched like part of this.
And we're going to be able to eventually solve it. I think this is the decade that we have the tools to understand
thank you, Eric.
why we age, how to slow it, how to stop it, how to reverse it. And you want to talk about
thank you. Like button to the moon. Yes, guys, listen to Eric, the Dream Giver, and smash those likes.
When you had a 30 or 40.
Absolutely free.
Right, there was a study out of Harvard, David Sinclair did, that said
this is Peter
just 1 year of health
Diamandis
to the
and Cathie Wood, episode 88.
Worth $38 trillion. I have to track those numbers down. I mean, if you Google it, that's insane.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that. I had when you were mentioning the whales, I was thinking, okay, cold baths. That's definitely one of the reasons, right?
I think it has to do with their particular genes that allow them to detect and slay cancers. I mean, but we've now got the tools to go and reprogram ourselves, right? The tools around CRISPR and around gene editing,
absolutely,
gene therapies.
Absolutely. And what's so interesting in the traditional financial world, we own all of the CRISPR, pretty much all of the major CRISPR stocks, and yet and we get questions like, why do you own those? There's no EBITDA there because this is so new, just approved by the FDA for beta thalassemia and sickle cell disease. That's CRISPR Therapeutics and Vertex. This is what I'm talking about. We talked about it at the beginning of this Spaces and podcast. It is investors in the traditional financial world not willing to invest in the future. Isn't that something? What is investing? In fact, when I started ARK and I was trying to explain to someone not in the financial business why I needed to start ARK, he ended up replaying it back to me and he said, oh, you mean the future of investing is investing in the future? And I said, yes, bingo, because these benchmarks are all about the past, right?
Yeah, and by the way,
I think they're talking about gene editing.
Systems and theories and practices have all broken. I think
biosciences.
If I had more time, I'd write an economics book because the old economics don't bear witness to what's going on today.
Well, I think that there are many economic theories. I think the right one is the Austrian school. And,
Swagmaster, what do you all think of Jasmine?
Understand the world from that angle? Or
let me pause Cathie for a second. Jasmine is my heartbreak. Jasmine is, again, like Shiba Inu. I don't know which one I did first. I think it was... I want to say I messed up on Jasmine first, and then I kind of messed up on Shiba Inu, like all at the same time. I was just like really, really hot-headed in 2021. And I don't remember. I think, okay, Jasmine, I just know I did make money off of Jasmine, sold it like near the highs of 2021. But then I just kind of got like antsy and I was like, oh, I don't want to leave yet. And that's the problem with like bull cycles. It's like you can cash out, but then it's hard to keep your cash out. So then I jumped back into Jasmine at pretty high levels. And then I jumped in and out multiple times, made like I thought what was quick money. And then eventually I got trapped, and then I still have a Jasmine bag that I paid way too much money for. But then I did use the money that I originally threw in. So Jasmine, I'm luckily still up, but it was a painful lesson of how I shouldn't have jumped back into something I cashed out on. Should have moved into anything else. Not that I would be guaranteed any money either. And then the kind of the same thing. Well, I think Shiba Inu was worse because Shiba Inu, it's not like I took all my winnings to throw into Shiba Inu. I had made just like a couple grand here and there on Shiba Inu on the way up, but then I got greedy and then I was like, let's just throw in 50 grand. And that was way more than I've ever made off Shiba Inu. That was gains from other things. So that was really bad. Yeah. And it happened like together, like near, I think, October, November of 2021. It all happened very, very quickly. So I have to keep reminding myself to avoid that. TP says, Lucy, what do you think about XRP? Do you think it will ever make significant, did you say gains anytime soon? I think, again, I feel like I know just as much as you guys do. We're all here just kind of guessing, but I definitely believe in it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have held on this long. I believed in them that they would be proven as not as securities when I held on to it, when I found out about the news that they were going to be frozen off the exchanges. So I just moved it off to my ledger all this time. And if anything, I bought more through, was it Coinbase? I think I bought more on Coinbase before, because they gave you a date, right? That's what happened, I think, in, was it 2020 or 2021, when they were like, oh, XRP is going to get into this lawsuit and you can't trade it anymore at this certain date. So I just went and bought like a bunch more. Only regret is not buying more. So yeah, I've never sold my XRP ever. XRP and Ethereum were the first two cryptocurrencies that I ever got into, and not for any deep specific reasons, but honestly, just because I like the coin. So yeah, that's XRP for you. I hope that it goes up. I honestly think that one day it could surpass all-time highs, and hopefully get to number 3 on the coin market cap. Not that I don't love Doge, and not that I don't want Shiba Inu to also get to number 4 or 5 on the coin market cap. But yeah, I wish it well. I think XRP, like the people involved, are well connected. At least that's just my personal views on it, because I think when it was near its old all-time high, I think this is closer to 2017, when I wasn't even in crypto, because I didn't get into crypto till like 2019, I believe. So in 2017, I remember hearing about the fact that they were like, had all these different connections to banks and whatnot. So I think if anybody is kind of gonna get it like a XRP ETF supposedly after like Ethereum, I think that just kind of makes more sense. I'm not selling. I'll think great potential. TP says, yeah, but I didn't put so much into it. Like I don't have that much XRP, I feel, to be bothered. Like if I lose all my XRPs, I'm not going to cry about it. And that's why I feel okay about this little estimate I have going on. Is Trust Wallet enough? Dawn says, or do I recommend getting a Nano? So I use my Ledger. That's just me. I also have Trust Wallet, and I also have Coinbase Wallet. I kind of have like honestly a little bit of everything, but personally, even though I feel fine with my Trust Wallet and my Coinbase Wallet, I prefer to at the like after FTX, that whole debacle, I just felt better having everything in a ledger. But now I have removed it, and I have it on exchanges because I'm just literally waiting to hit that sell button. So right now it's honestly anything goes for me, but during the downfalls, during crypto winter, and on the next crypto winter, I'm going to put it back into a ledger. So that's me. Cold wallet is the way to go, in my opinion, but not financial advice.
Making sense of all of this, but I agree that, and I also agree that regulation and government policy is typically in the way. You know,
the theme I love is the best way to predict the future is create it yourself. And one of the things that you're doing through your investing, I'm doing through my investing or the companies I'm starting, is let's make this happen. Let's not moan about it. Let's not worry about it. Let's actually go and solve. The truth will win out.
The price is going back up for memes?
I believe
Nice.
There's no problem we cannot solve.
Which one?
And the
Is
best way
Bonk
to
going
help
up?
a billion people and those convergent, principles
I
of
honestly
humanity.
would like Ethereum to get to like 4,500
As you say,
within this week.
As far as human longevity,
That
just
would make
use
my
first
month.
principles thinking. Just because something has been done one way for 100 years, think automobile production.
Oh, like what's a thought that I had recently that I want to share with you guys? Yes. So I actually have been watching my Ethereum heavily, and because I'm in the green. I'm in the green for my Ethereum. I've always been in the green. I've never been in the red for it because I started buying in like 2019. And I had this thought, this YOLO thought of just selling all my Ethereums and then throwing it into, leaving it in cash and then slowly DCAing into Tesla. Kind of wild, I know. And Tesla is dropping, and there's like so many different kind of views on where Tesla is headed. There's a lot of people who think that it's going to go back down to like the $100 level, which I would love. Like if it goes to $100, I for sure would sell like all my Ethereums and probably even some crypto in the red just to get it. So for me right now, I don't know if I'm going to go with this YOLO thought, but it's definitely in the back of my mind. And as Ethereum grows, hopefully over 5,000, that's when I think I'm going to make that move. And whether I put it into Tesla or DZ says buy NEO, also another thought that I share with you guys on a previous live stream. I also really like NEO. And I like NEO for other reasons because I know people in the city where it was founded, in Shanghai, China, and I have friends who like have gone there recently and then told me about all the very, very nice, well-made cars from NEO that are on the streets. So apparently more people that are like in tech, like NEO, and then more like bougie people like Tesla in mainland China. So again, that's just the views that I've gotten from people who visited recently. But NEO sucks right now, as in NEO stocks are like so much lower than all these other Chinese EVs. So it's kind of a dangerous play as well. And then we have the factor of like China danger, who's going to be POTUS, all those other little factors that could play into the stock market going a little crazy. But yeah, NEO's on my list, Tesla's on my list. I don't mind, again, DCAing slowly once I cash out of some crypto. So that's probably like number one on my list, or we'll see whatever leaves my portfolio first. Like Shiba Inu, I badly want to get rid of more than anything because that was, like I said, such a stupid thing I did. And I'd really love to come out on top through this stupid bad decision, but I may not, right? I can't honestly expect to get out of every single crypto decision I made or stock decision I made in the green, because then everybody would be able to make money all the time. That's not how it works. One of these days, I'm just going to have to suck it up and take the loss. And it may have to be a really large loss, right? Or even right now, I'm obviously much happier about Shiba Inu than I was like 6 months ago, right? When I had less than $10,000 in value of what my Shiba Inu was worth. So we'll see what happens. I'm around, by the way. I'm just doing some work on the side, so chat away.
Doesn't mean that's the way it should be in the future. That's what Elon has done and has, helped many people understand, wait a minute, can I think about this in a different way? And that's good. Just challenging conventional wisdom. Again, the more that happens, the more what you are saying is going to prove to be correct. Truth will win out.
Yes, I mean, there's so many subjects to go on. How do you make short-term trades on these waves of exponentials? What's your thesis there?
Yeah, we get all kinds of questions on this, as you might imagine, especially anytime we sell Tesla or Nvidia. So we, in high conviction names, that are still, we believe, going to deliver us our minimum hurdle rate of return, which is 15% at a compound annual rate over 5 years. So on average per year, 15%. Like a Tesla in spades. I mean, so much more than that if we're right. But we will when it goes through a massive move to the upside. Last year, at one point, it was up 150%, and we started taking profits because guess what? Some of these multi-omics names were getting crushed, and we needed, when you have only 100% to work with, you need to trade around ideas. So take some of those profits from something that's up 150% and buy something that is down 15% in the same year. Sell high, buy low, kind of a
Sell high, buy low.
basic investment tenet. Now,
So easily said, so hard to do.
5? No. In fact, it's still in our flagship fund is number one. Has had, and you'll see us taking profits there as well.
I want to move to Bitcoin in a second. But I want to ask you another question. So, just have to imagine that Elon will become the first trillionaire.
Yes, I do believe that.
No way of not imagining that.
I think he will, and we have to get the court system out of determining CEO pay, shareholders.
Oh, I actually would love to see Elon Musk becoming the first trillionaire off of Dogecoin. Like, imagine if he just had this huge bag in Doge that we don't know about, or like Tesla decides to, I don't know, you can't buy like once Cybertrucks, and I honestly, like, especially after watching Marquise Brownlee, you guys should really watch his video. It was posted 3 months ago where he did like an honest review on this Tesla Cybertruck. I think that was still a prototype. I think they were going to still make like a couple changes, or he didn't get the one that he actually ordered, so he couldn't do a lot of things with it. Like, I think he said he was going to later on put rocks in it and like tow heavy stuff with it and do all this stuff. And like, that's later on. Like, if you watch his later videos, once he actually gets his Cybertruck, actually maybe he did. I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten it yet, but that video is really great. I watched it yesterday. I think it's like at least 40 minutes. And I'm thoroughly convinced that this is an amazing product, and I don't see how Tesla stocks will not continue to rise even higher based off of Cybertruck in the future. And I do think it's pretty, even though, quoting Marquise Brownlee, some people think it looks like a refrigerator on wheels. So based off of that, I also see more movement in Tesla. And also for me, I think growth in Tesla and why I want to invest in it with either Ethereum money or Shiba Inu money or anything else. I just want to be involved because I see it as the future company to not be like Apple, where, okay, like it provides, I have so many Apple products. Obviously, I'm using Apple to stream right now. MacBook. It's not going to be like the future of what we already have. I don't see Tesla as a company for that, but I think Tesla is going to become the company of things that may be soon, reliant on, which is like the Tesla bot, right? Like, if imagine every household, and again, other companies are working on it too, but I would rather invest in or purchase a Tesla humanoid walking around in my house in the kitchen. I'll feel honestly more safe about it than anything else with the data that that Tesla has collected through the cars, right, through their software. So that's kind of what I said in the past and why I believe in them so much. It's also just like what you see on the roads. Like, Tesla is the most popular EV choice. And they've collected so much data, and that data is definitely going to help out in terms of a robot kind of being able to tell the difference between, I don't know, a balloon and a child and a pencil or whatever, right? Just like more data. So I personally believe in that. Again, it's not like I work in the tech industry, so you might know a lot more about why you think that my little estimate is not correct and why Tesla will for sure not make it in the end. And if that's what you believe, I'll love to see your comments down below, explaining why you think Tesla would be a horrible investment per se. So yeah. Time will tell. Sorry, I'm running low on my battery. Concentration builds wealth. Diversify to hold on to wealth. Yes. Lesson I have learned, and I'm going to try and display this year if I don't mess up. That is. So still around. Chat amongst yourselves.
We were among the 73% of shareholders who voted for that pay package, just delighted with it, saying, wow, if he really will not take a salary, will not take a bonus until he, doubles, at least minimum doubles the share price.
Oh, but yeah, my point is, I hope that Elon Musk becomes the first trillionaire through Dogecoin.
The stock up and revenue up and EBITDA up by as much as these 12 tranches of. If he does that, this stock is going to go crazy, and it did. It went up 13-fold, and they're using some.
If only he had performed over the last decade or so.
Oh my gosh! Think about that. That is. They were using some very esoteric legal fairness clause, and it was like, are you kidding me? That was so fair to shareholders, taking no pay. All on the come, all on performance. If more CEOs were like that, we'd have a much stronger economy, much better performing companies.
Yeah.
I put maple syrup in my coffee earlier, and now it's way too sweet, so I have to put ice. Ice and milk. I do black coffee, then I just regret it. Like I need creamer in here. As much as I want to lose weight.
Hopefully by now you understand that your microbiome and your gut health are one of the most important modifiable parts of your health. If your gut microbiome is connected to everything.
Oh, that's an ad. I'm like, what is he talking about? Gut.
Daily reports that are clinic so 101 but shots slash the number.
So this is a
maple syrup, Nespresso coffee, and I'm going to add some.
And in fact, in our business, what's interesting is the wirehouses, which dominate our customers. So Morgan Stanley, all the advisors at these wirehouses, Morgan Stanley, UBS, Merrill Lynch at B of A, Wells Fargo. Not one of them has approved Bitcoin on its platform. That hasn't even happened yet. And those are
so satisfying when I see the creamer just pop into the coffee. So beautiful.
Wait until you see
explosion. Yes. Yeah, I used to years and years ago. I went on CNBC.
Nice Rolodex to build it on. Thanks, Through a Nation. Don says.
60s roadmap. It's
JJJ says at JP Trees, what should I YOLO 1K in? Any recommendations for crypto?
And then it becomes
Be
disruptive.
careful.
And we're just at, it's been a slow disruption, but institutions coming on.
It sounds, this chat is starting to sound like Wall Street bets.
The ship has sailed.
Yes,
cool. Okay.
And this,
make your coffee, JP,
this
and
is not just a technology.
Cheers.
It's
so addicted to coffee. I literally drink coffee every day.
Right? And beyond that,
oh my God, it's so good.
A global.
Okay, guys. I am honestly like a pretty humble person, I think, but I'm pretty cocky when it comes to food. Like, I really do think that I make good food. Like, I wish I could make food for you guys. I make really good noodles, udon. And then my coffee is A++. So you could totally do this. You could do this at home. I use Nespresso coffee, but that's because I'm low on like coffee beans, but use fresh Colombian coffee, roasted coffee, black, and then throw in some maple syrup if you like things sweet, which I do. A little bit of maple syrup, stir that while it's hot, throw in the ice, and then almond milk. Oh my God, it's so good. It's actually delicious. Anyways, I'll be back to work.
Monetary system. It is the first global, private, meaning no government oversight, digital and decentralized, rules-based. That's the most important word here. Rules-based monetary system in history. It's a big idea.
Yeah, it is I'm going to have Mike Saylor on my stage,
Mike
the
Saylor.
same place that you spoke last time, and we're going to spend a couple of hours talking about this, but not just Bitcoin as a store of value, but Bitcoin related applications, right? Where's Lightning Network going? This is, Bitcoin is, I've heard you say this, the financial side of the internet that did not exist in the 90s. And it's also the mechanism that AI is going to be using to implement its will, or your will, through it on the world.
Yes, we did something called Bitcoin Brainstorm. We do a Bitcoin brainstorm monthly, and one of them was the convergence between Bitcoin and AI. And we had, you'll probably know of his developer name, Rose Spieth, from the Lightning Network on, and he was talking about how in Africa already this convergence is redefining division of labor. I mean, the gig economy we understand here in the United States, put that on steroids in terms of micro gig economy in the emerging markets, and you have a whole new kind of economy. So yes, very exciting.
Yeah, we can see the hash rate exploding onto the scene, halving coming, and
the halving needs to be here already.
Predictions again, but I
so
think
done.
I remember your sort of bear case, median case, and best case. Give us some of those numbers as you see them.
Smash the likes, guys.
Well,
Thank you.
We have all kinds of metrics, but
DZ says bonk. Yes, I don't know how much bonk is, but it was kind of up when Shiba Inu and Doge was climbing, but not anywhere even close where I'd like it to be.
$1.5 million
But I'm
so
green
that would have been
in bonk finally.
2027. We still have time, and we still think that's going to be right. If you just look at the institutional push into Bitcoin, this new asset class, they have to consider it as fiduciaries. When you use those code words, new asset class, what it means, the correlation of these returns are very low compared to those of other assets.
Especially as bonds and stocks are becoming more correlated, you need something uncorrelated.
Yes. Absolutely. And so they have to consider it. Now, what are we saying? There are 19.6 million Bitcoin out there right now. And
that's
the highest
crazy.
It will ever go is 21 million.
So I was actually watching, I think you guys know who, actually the number is not 19 million something. It's probably close to digital gold. They don't want to move it or whatever it is, and cold wallets. So yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about that. There's so many we'll never be able to get, and these institutions won't be able to get. So again, that adds a lot less than that, and now y'all all gotta fight for it.
Well, okay, there's real scarcity value, and what is going to happen? The price increase for every institutional dollar pushing in now is going to be much higher than it was last year. And it means people who have not moved, or wallets that have not moved their Bitcoin in 155 days or more.
The hodlers.
Yes. Normally, when you go through a price move to the upside,
I'm a hodler.
nice one
I haven't
we've
moved
seen
that in
last
150
year,
days.
That tends to start moving down. And it did that, true to form, but it has reversed in recent days, because what we learned is GBTC sold some of its Bitcoin.
Six Lens says, so you think it's going to go up?
Those wallets hadn't been changed in
Me
a long
or someone
time,
else in the chat? I don't know.
right?
What's going to go
Now
up?
that is done, at least for the time being. Now that is done.
Are you talking about
and,
Nvidia
it's
or
going back up again as the price goes up. That's highly
Ethereum?
unusual.
I definitely
And
think Ethereum's going to go up.
Because the
I'm not sure
long-term
if
holders saying, why
Nvidia is
would
going
I
to reach
sell now
1,000
when I
Bitcoin.
know all these institutions.
Okay, let me answer.
Which
So my title, I think, is Nvidia 1,000 ? Right? Because I don't really know if it's going to hit that. It looks really close though. But I also wouldn't be too surprised if Nvidia goes to like 990 and then kaboom. I definitely believe in BTC going up, because if Bitcoin cannot continue to go up to higher highs of at least 85,000 on this cycle, I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off, disappointed, and then all that narrative with like Bitcoin spot ETFs pushing all of this bull run and how every year it's going to be less and less because after the BTC halving by the end of April, there's only going to be 450 produced per day through mining instead of 900. All that narrative is going to go away and be absolutely useless if Bitcoin cannot even push up this year, I would say, to like even 85,000. Or next year, early next year, like 85,000. That's my personal take on it. So I do think and I believe in Bitcoin because if Bitcoin doesn't go up, there's like no hopes for Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. Like PayPay might still be survive. I don't know. But again, that's just my personal take. I don't have any Bitcoin, so not financial advice. Do your own DD. And thank you so much, Dawn. Oh, yes. One more like, guys. Whoever didn't smash that like button, please do so. Absolutely free to do so. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring that notification bell if you want to know whenever these live streams or my videos start. But I'm going to try to do more of these, especially you'll see me if I'm free. And we have like a climbing altcoin or climbing Bitcoin even though I don't have any. So definitely follow. And if you don't already use MooMOO, use my link pinned to the top of the stream and get yourself some free stocks after you make the required deposit. So thanks, guys, and let's continue. I really hope that during my stream, Ethereum can just cross $4,000.
Own nothing in this realm, in this new asset class. They have to consider it because it is a new asset class.
I have friends of mine who are just setting up their Bitcoins so they can borrow against it. No one wants to sell. Everyone is convinced it's on an uptick. And so I want to hit you a couple of questions here. A friend of mine who you know, Bill Barhyde, who's the CEO of Abra, right, is when the last man standing. He's done an amazing job. What do you think of as the future of DeFi and the future of banking with regard to this?
Yes, and first let me tell you a little story about Bill. In 2017, when Bitcoin was below $1,000, and there was a war going on between the Bitcoin maximalists and those.
Wait, what?
On the
Did she
Ethereum
just say
network.
that in 27? Did you hear that? She just said Bitcoin in 2017 was under $1,000. Is that how low it was? Because I wasn't invested obviously in 2017, but I didn't think it dropped that low. Hold on, let me rewind.
Between below 1,000, Bill. In 2017, when Bitcoin was below $1,000, and there was a war going on between the Bitcoin maximalists and
I never knew it
those,
was under 1,000 in
focused on
2017.
the
That's
Ethereum
nuts.
network.
I wish I
Chris
bought
Bernisky,
so
you may know
many.
him.
It's
He
crazy.
was our first
Imagine having
crypto
10
analyst and went off to
Bitcoins
start
right now.
placeholder. He decided, you know what? We should have a meetup at our office between the Bitcoin and Ethereum supporters, and we'll provide
Religion.
rules of the we'll provide rules of the road. And Bill was the grown up in the room, set the tone from the Ethereum side, and we had such a productive talk that I went out and bought Ether right away. We don't.
Okay, thank you, DZ, for fact checking Kathy Wood, because I was like, I don't remember people saying they bought Bitcoin in 2017 for under $1,000. That'd be nuts. That would have meant that in 2017, when it had already hit the all-time highs of like around 17,000, that it dropped like below $1,000. I guess this goes to show you have to fact check everything. More intelligent than I am, but fact check every single person on this chat, every person ever. Yeah, 3,000-ish is the lowest, right? But I know for sure when I got into crypto that when I was watching Bitcoin that it did hit around 3,000 something in 2020 during the pandemic. That was like a total pandemic freak out purchase, basically. Yeah, it's okay. I still love
you know,
her.
I already owned a lot of Bitcoin because it was so convincing that there's a place for both. And
Bill
yes,
is a brilliant adult in this space. Yes, for sure.
Yes, yes. And so yes, we're very excited about the Ethereum network and Solana. And so they all play different roles. And what I love is there's kind of a little competition. I think competition is always good to keep the other networks on it. And so, yes, we think that decentralized finance, and we do call it now the internet financial system, which is really Chris Bernisky coined that. Yes,
I like that because it really talks about the functionality more than this ethereal idea. It is the financial backbone, and it's really the dematerialized and democratized
internet financial
access
system.
to taking action in the world.
Absolutely, and taking the middlemen out of everything. You know, when
get the sand out of the gears.
Yeah, when we did our digital wallet work, you know, we're saying, okay, let's try to figure out.
I'm so jealous of your friend who bought it at 3,600. My cheapest ever bought Bitcoin
and
around 8,000, not even 7,000.
The two of them, and that's and you know, there are many other middlemen, but these were the most direct steps, and that is a 2 to 4% tax on every purchase in the world if you're using intermediaries, credit cards, and so forth. So just think about that. Cutting, you know, that tax rate dramatically is going to increase access dramatically.
I want to hit on another fun subject. The 9-year-old inside of me is like, the robots are coming. The robots are coming. You know,
yes, they are.
Humanoid robots. Tesla bot. A friend of mine is one of the senior leaders at Tesla, and just showing me what's going on there is amazing, right? Tesla bot 2, Optimus 2nd generation, and then we've got Amiga, we've got Figure, and my count 30 other humanoid robots under development.
Yes, and we think this is first of all, if you look at the Wright's law and apply it to industrial robots, what we see is based on the 50% cost decline for every cumulative doubling in the number of robots out there, we believe that during the next 6 to 7 years is going to grow the fastest, even faster.
I feel like I need to someone like a glove for me, and then I could just put 2 of my phones on my glove, so I don't have to hold it like this.
Per year at a compound annual rate, whereas we think all of disruptive innovation will be growing 40% from roughly $20 trillion now in the public and private market. And Figure AI, we have taken a position in our venture fund there. So from 20 trillion to 220 trillion by the year 2030. So that's a 40% compound annual rate of growth. But generalizable robotics is going to grow the fastest.
Generalizable robotics.
Incredible. And my venture fund, Bull Capital, we took a position in Figure as well. And of course, I'm a huge Tesla fan.
Yes, of course we
are. So she thinks generalized robotics is going to go from 2 trillion to 200
at,
trillion. So 100x.
On Optimus at 20,000. Let's say he's going to be optimistic as he normally is, and that's good. Optimism helps you. You know, if innovators weren't optimistic, they would never start any of the ventures, because you've got to be optimistic. But let's say that it's not 20,000 for an optimist. Let's say, or a Figure. Let's say it's 50,000. You know, if you're leasing it like you lease a car, you know, $500 a month, you've got labor 24/7 sitting in your closet downstairs working for you. It's extraordinary.
It is. We're pretty excited, and the way we value this particular space is it's roughly 50-50, home and out of home, about $12 trillion each. So yes. Very exciting.
It's a lot. Now, the numbers are interesting for those who haven't sort of seen the conversation. You know, I've seen Vinod Khosla, who's a friend, talk about, as well.
Thank you for
as,
getting
the
me to
team at
50,000
Figure
likes. Appreciate it.
That will hit, billions, perhaps 10 billion by 2040. These are humanoid robots walking amongst us, and millions by 2030.
I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it sounds like a
what's your
monsoon out
predictions?
there, even though this is California.
They are right.
in
And
March.
we are hitting the tipping point now.
Ridiculous.
And, Elon does not do anything unless nothing small, for sure. But unless, again, on a first principles basis, he can justify it. And so the fact that he's, throwing this weight behind it, and I hope he does get his 25% voting control at Tesla, because, as a Tesla shareholder, I want him to
this
see
video
this
was
through.
7 days ago.
Yeah. It's interesting. What I love is not only convergence in technologies, but convergence within Elon's
What should be the percent for Dogecoin to hit $1? I don't know what you mean by
Tesla and SpaceX working together. And the other
Like,
thing, and I'm spending some good time.
How likely I think Doge is going to hit $1? I think
scenario that we
eventually it
haven't spoken about
will
much, but,
hit higher than
the ability
$1,
to
but I just
connect your
can't say
neocortex to the
when.
cloud and be able to
No
think
idea.
and Google or take action, increasing intelligence, right? The number one greatest asset a company or nation has is the intelligence of its employees or its citizens. If you can up that to some degree, that would be extraordinary. So imagine Neuralink and Optimus together, right? So I'm able to occupy an Optimus robot someplace and drive it around. We've seen movies about this, and it's not that far away.
We agree. Especially, as we're combining what you just said with AGI, that how wrong the market has been.
Oh,
and how close to reality.
Well, right now, how much is
is
Dogecoin? Dogecoin's not even 20 cents. It would have to be more than 300% because it's not even at 20 cents right now. And then 3x from 20% would only take it to 60 cents. It's a lot more.
How confused I am
a lot more
about the public and the markets not recognizing how impactful these exponential technology-driven companies are, and how, like you said earlier, right, super exponentials are coming as these tsunami-side convergences are about to transform every aspect of our lives. Every company, nation states are going to be transformed.
Exactly. Accelerate the exponential growth rates. So I can tell you, and I mentioned it briefly, but in the reasons, but in a word, people are scared. And they are hugging benchmarks because they don't want to go through another telecom bust. They don't want to go through another financial meltdown. People are talking about, another technology hype cycle here. So these are trigger words for them right now. So here's the irony. In the late 90s, I was there. In the late 90s, this idea of the internet captured the investors' imagination, and they started valuing companies on number of eyeballs potentially in 10 to 20 years. And
I'll never forget when one travel company is worth more than all the airlines put together.
There you go. So too much capital chased too few opportunities too soon, and it ended badly. The technologies weren't ready, and they were too expensive. So, but what people do not understand is the seeds for everything happening now were sown during the 20 years that ended in the tech and telecom bubble. They've been germinating for 25, 30 years. We are ready for prime time. And unlike the late 90s, they're running away. They're running for the hills. What are the hills? They're benchmarks. It's ridiculous.
Old school safe havens for capital,
and
are
that will end badly too.
Yeah.
That will end badly.
Yeah.
Oh, Doge's up.
Future. One of the things
I got a message from Joe that said Doge was up. Hold on, let's see how much. But you guys were listening to that. But basically, Kathy Wood, I think, was talking about the tech bubble of Y2K, and how everything fell apart. And at that time, I guess if you bought Apple, you'd be super balling right now. And that instills fear in me, because I think if it could happen then, we have to learn from history that it could happen to us in the next 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years. Like something very, very bad could also happen. That is very bullish right now, because like they were just talking about, and I didn't know about this, but I guess everybody was so obsessed with the internet that this guy, Peter H. Diamandis, was saying how during the telecom bubble, tech and telecom bubble, travel agency companies, like companies who sold, I guess because they're dealing with the internet, that sold traveling packages were worth more than all the airlines at one point combined, which now, if we look at it in hindsight, just is absolutely insane to think about. And I've never actually heard about this, but I guess we have to use that to apply it to what we're seeing now. And whether you believe that Nvidia is a bubble or not, or whether you believe Bitcoin is a bubble or not, I think even though I'm very bullish on all these things, and I personally am very bullish on crypto and I'm bullish on Tesla, I think it's healthy for all of us to look at history and apply it to ourselves. And what, no matter how bullish you are on something, kind of just like check yourself, reflect a little bit. And I think that's also a good thing to apply on anything in your life, right? Like your friendships, your business, your career, your work, your relationship with your boss, your relationship with your friends, with your lover. Like, I think even when things are going really well, some may say too good to be true. It's also really good to fact check and reflect. Think about what could go wrong. Not to be a pessimist at all times, but protect yourselves and your assets and your finances. Anyways, guys, my battery's running low. And we're just going to look at crypto quickly. Then I'm going to peace out. But thank you all so much for joining me on this stream. I can see that everything is super lit now that I'm like done 2 hours of the stream. But Ethereum, which I really want to see over 4,000, is finally at 3,937 again. I definitely believe that today could be the day we hit over 4,000, and I want to see it reach all-time highs, just like BTC. But hopefully, like unlike Bitcoin, doesn't just go like $170 over and then starts going down. Dogecoin right now is pretty good. Not going to complain. 16 on the way up 7% on the day, and currently at 16 cents. Of course, Shiba Inu is on the move too, but not as good as Dogecoin. Currently up 3.94% on the day is what I'm seeing on Robinhood, and at 0.000032. So it's all good. My main focus right now is less Dogecoin, more Ethereum. So wish me luck. Hopefully I could see new all-times for Ethereum. Doesn't mean I'm going to peace out right away, though, even if it hits like 5,500, just because I really want to wait out and see this buy the rumor, possible sell the new situation. And if Ethereum does get approved for its ETF, I may not wait until after it's approved, but maybe even after it's approved and to see it on the market, but maybe just after we hear news that it's likely to be approved, or even one is approved. Maybe if it shoots up to like 6,000-7,000, I might sell then. So again, it's just what I'm saying now. I hope I can actually pull through. If you've been seeing my tweets, I do find this the hardest thing I've ever done out of all the years of trading, because I'm trying to learn from my mistakes, but actually implementing them, even though I know I made mistakes, is quite hard. So I wish you guys luck. Take care. Smash like button on your way out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.